I just wondered if we can lie to ourselves, me to myself. The reason why I thought is this, that my schedule may change, and that brought me to search for answers to how to adjust. And there are multiple factors to consider, and it's too much. So it will happen eventually, as it should, but I'll do my own search without thinking much. I think as much as I can, and then I let go. And the situation may change, or I may find a solution to adapt to what is needed. So it's going to be as it should be. But it's kind of like an ego playing the game. I noticed that when I have some stable situation and I like, compared to all the other options, I feel like, oh, this is the place. This must be heaven. But even in the case of Buddha or Lao Tzu, I thought about it. If, for the sake of discussion, I'm Buddha, and let's say I'm enlightened, and I picture myself, he lived his life staying at one place and sharing ideas with people, what can be done to be enlightened, things like that. And that's his mission, and he went through that, staying in one place and moved to the other place, and then on the way toward where he came from, toward the mountains, he passed away in his journey. Lao Tzu's case, it's known that he wrote that Tao Te Ching and talked about no action, nature's way. And instead of staying in the society, he went somewhere to his own preferred location, not in the society. So Buddha and Lao Tzu seem to find their own nest, so to speak, and whatever is available, just deal with it. Liberated man finding the path, location, live as they wish, and helping the society. If not, just be alone. Contrasting to that, I like the idea of bodhisattva, because instead of staying in, let's say, in the mountain and meditate, bodhisattva is to not to do that, but go back to the society. And they say, people suffer, therefore I suffer. That's Bhima Kirti. It's a sutra, and he's very fond of by the Zen people. And I can relate to that, because I can suffer. There's a good reason to go beyond, and I feel people suffer. So why don't we work together or exchange ideas instead of going to the mountain or going to the desert, and be at peace by oneself? At the end, it's kind of like a navigating. If it's too much in one direction, it comes to middle and backward, or the other direction, and then come back. and fluctuate, like in the case of my where to stay. Following the nature's way, as the nature may give us way to explore as it wishes, and I may align with that if that is like a tenmid order from heaven. Always have the antenna attentive and then make choice every step of the way of the movement. If there are certain things to happen in the future, okay, you think about it, but let it be. Eventually, you get to the situation, or you may not, and therefore you can always keep figuring out as much as you can think ahead and do what we can, and also do the best each step of the way. So it's not like a predetermined path. Be flexible, like water, finding the direction or the where it is needed, and flow down to that and into the ocean. And if you are into the ocean, maybe you evaporate and go back to the same cycle again. So overall, it's all nature's way. And as I mentioned, the delusion is part of the nature's way to tell us if it's too much or too little, or to break through or avoid. That sounds too complex, but at the end, it's always listening to the heart, finding the way, the core being, to go back there. And insight will tell us. It may be even the evolution of human. But we have this mind to think, is this right or wrong? But that even the wrong thinking is a part of finding the right thinking or the right path. So I've said perhaps too much because it sounds too complex, but the point is the core is the same. And depending upon the position of where we are, how much off or on, so far as we are sensitive, and to be sensitive, no mind, no self, have moment. That's like a gyroscope navigating our life to whichever direction it is, to be quiet, to explore, to stay, or to move. And you are supposed to move, then given that, what to do. So be at peace, even difficulties. Find the core of our being. Even millisecond, stay there. As it should, the nature's way would find the path for us, and for us to find the path by using the brain and letting go of the brain. And breathe in and breathe out. Sense that aliveness. If we don't, just be patient. Breathe in, breathe out, millisecond or few seconds. And we are bound to find it because we are built from that force of the universe, the way of the universe, the laws of the universe, or the laws of nature, because that is the ultimate driving force beyond ourselves. So what I just said is a bullshit. When I used the word bullshit and I said what I said is bullshit, that reminded me of my work. I was like hopefully a mirror for the people that I visit, and I shared the view, ideas, and question, and for people to find the solution by my questioning, together, hopefully, to find the bottleneck and figure out the way. So that's what I did with a bunch of companies, 40 years, and that was fun. Not always, because there's like accident and something happens, then you get blown away. But the principle stayed the same. I wrote books. I still practice on my own life. Mini company is mini me. Waste elimination is appreciation of people's talent. And for myself, for organization, and may all beings be happy. There is a way. We may not see it. If you see it, then you stumble into another one. Because that's how things change and evolve. Not predetermined. Everything is connected to each other. And that's what it is. My view or the thought may make sense or may not make sense, but by sharing, it may have some resonance, reaction, if not, so that each of those interactions propagate, like in the case of AI. I shouldn't go in there because it's already convoluted in that. But us, me, and my society I'm living in, I believe we have mission. I don't know if evolve is the right way, but it's kind of like evolving wisdom, compassion, and move on continuously. I see that way. If you look backward, we are born from the dust of the universe with the miraculous laws of nature. So that's functioning from ancestors and ancestors' ancestors. And all the dust configure and find a way to go against the law of entropy. And there's aliveness expressing who we are best we can. So let's finish this by saying our mind still moves, but at the core, there's a quality of how the mind moves. And I may put that the Zen monk's phrase in description, because it's better than me quoting here. Maybe I'll leave that as a summary or reference for us to read and ponder and find our way. Have a good day, good life. May all beings be happy.